We're now 11 games into Season 2 with Aston Villa, and we're doing pretty good. We're actually only, 7 points off top of the table. We have lost 3 matches, but they're matches you'd expect us to lose. Manchester City, Chelsea and Arsenal. We've won 7, and we've won some of them pretty well, if you ask me. So last time we were here, I think we played the Chelsea game. We've done some Europa League action where we've basically gone undefeated so far. In fact, we've won 4 out of 4. We've also beaten Blackpool in the Carabao Cup. We beat Leeds in the league. We beat West Ham in the league. We beat Spurs 4-2 in the league in this one. We beat Fulham in the league. We drew 1-1 with Crystal Palace, not ideal. And then we've just lost 2-0 against Arsenal. And then, we beat Porto as well, 3-0 in the league. Today it's going to be Brighton and Brentford. And I'm hoping that's 6 more points. And if we get 6 points out of this, we might be pushing for a Champions League spot come the end of this season. The starting lineup for the Brighton game then at Villa Park will be Martinez in goal, Harwood Bellis, Boyomo, Mings and Luca Dean in defence, Douglas Luiz, Kamara and Sanka in midfield, with Bailey, Diaby and Girassi leading the line for this one. We are actually not doing bad when it comes to goals, and in particular, Callum Wilson has 4 goals. Admittedly, 2 of them were in the Carabao Cup, but he's got 4 goals, 1 in the league, 1 in the Europa League and 2 in the Carabao Cup. He might start getting good. He might start becoming good. It might be too late for him because Girassi's also got 4 goals in just as many appearances. So I'm not quite sure if Brighton are any good in this. Obviously, real life, they've lost a few players over the last season or so, and I don't know whether they've kind of managed to replace half of them or whether they're going to just have these weird gaps in their squad where they're missing players like Caicedo. Joel Veltman with the ball. We are 3 minutes in. Estupinian could be how his name is said, straight into the hands of Martinez. Was that the highlight? Yes, it was. They do still have Mitoma. They've still got Ferguson, João Pedro still there. Pascal Gross still there as well, club captain. Jason Steele's not a great goalkeeper, is he? Let's be honest, Jason Steele was probably a weak link in their side. I say that as he's now on a 7.0 and we're not having any shots or highlights by the looks of it. So this match, just kind of nothing's happening. Girassi's on a 6.4, Diaby's on a 6.5 and looking very tired. Sanket tries to find Kamara, can't manage to get anywhere near him. Stupinan with it, plays it across to Igor. On the ground, coming forward, Evan Ferguson, the big youngster. João Pedro on the right-hand side for Brighton. Ferguson collects his once again, easily gets past, I assume, Tyrone Mings. Martinez can't stop them and João Pedro gets his 6th goal of the season. Brighton take the lead. It's not going well, is it? Diaby and Girassi need to be coming off or at least having a stern word. Show everyone what we can do. Let's do some changes. Girassi is coming off. Wilson is coming on. Diaby, it was a risk to play him. I was going to play Ramsey, but no, Diaby's a much better winger. Probably should have just gone with Ramsey, shouldn't I? We've also got Luca Dean struggling as that inverted wing back on the left-hand side. So 2 subs for us at half-time. It might be a little bit I feel like we're going to struggle to get back into this game. Although, match stats-wise, we've had a lot of the possession. We're getting our shots away. They're just not very good, apparently. Pascal Gross with a free kick on the hour mark. Goes for goal. It's 2-0. Martinez is he's not very good anymore, apparently. Is this the start of the end? Is this the beginning of our downfall? Gross with a corner 4 minutes later. Oh my word. Martinez, what are you doing? It's 3-0 to Brighton. What is happening here? What has actually gone on? This is the first matches, by the way, that I'm playing on the actual full release of the game. They've broken something. Definitely broken something. I'm taking Martinez off. We're taking Luca Dean off as well. Pau Torres can play as a left back. That way round makes more sense. What else do we want to do? Sanket coming off for John McGinn. I nearly did Scott McTominay then. That's all of our subs. We're 3-0 down. It is too little too late. We have just been absolutely embarrassed here by Brighton. On the plus side, we are going to save some money when we start finding some poor performers. Final 10 minutes, are we going to get a consolation goal? Mings with the throw to John McGinn, back to Mings. Douglas Luiz, forward to Mings once again. Plays it across, Leon Bailey at the back post with acres of space. It's fallen for Kamara, he's hit the post. We're never going to score. We're never going to score. We're going to lose this game 3-0, maybe even 4-0. We are going to see the corner. It's Leon Bailey going over to take it. The Jamaican international, I think. Left-footed corner, it's going to go short, isn't it? There it is, to McGinn, to Ramsey, back to Bailey. Cross it in. Anybody get in the box now? Towards Torres, still comes out, claims it. We've been awful, haven't we? We've been so bad. That's literally the only highlights we've had that's gone our way, and it's taken 85 minutes for them to get here. Just over a minute of injury time to play, and Brighton are going to pick up 3 very, very valuable points. And I was going to say we're going to come in for training tomorrow, but I don't think that's a good idea. because I think our next match is like on a Wednesday. Or this might be a Wednesday. I should probably know that. John McGinn's nicked the ball. Don't think anything's going to come from this, though, is it? Down the left-hand side to Ramsey. It's going to be a penalty. It's going to be a penalty if that is given. I don't know who's going to take it. I feel like it's Callum Wilson, you know. I feel like Wilson might have our best penalties in our starting 11. Or maybe it might be McGinn. I don't know why I'm assuming McGinn. It is a penalty. Who's the man stepping up to take it? It's number 6. It's Douglas Luiz is the man to take this penalty then. To make it 3-1, it's a consolation. I feel like he's going to miss. He's not missed. It is 3-1. Brighton don't get their clean sheet, but we get absolutely nothing from this game, apart from a negative 2 goal difference. Well, that was appalling, wasn't it? That was absolutely appalling. Water bottle time, not happy, embarrassed. Shameful, poor performance from everybody. I mean, Martinez lacked self-belief. I would too if I got that kind of performance. You were at fault for 2 of the goals, I'd say. Right, because of that though, my team talk was too harsh. Oh, we're going to have to try and revive this somehow. There were some rumours that it was too harsh. Martinez, who is a team leader, yeah, I can see why. Everyone's highly influential here. So I'm happy to try and change. Sure, we'll just back down. They're very good footballers. Well, some of them. Match number 2 then. It has been 12 days since we lost against Brighton, so I'm hoping there's a little bit more kind of camaraderie, shall we say, within the camp. We are going to do a fair amount of changes for the Brentford game. It's going to be Castile starting in goal because Martinez has annoyed me that much that I've dropped him to the subs bench. Goldson, Mings, Torres and Ait-Nouri in defence. Yep, we've basically changed our entire back 4 as well. It's going to be Luiz, Kamara and Sanka in midfield. Rooney, Ramsey and Luka Jovic leading the line. That's right, Luka Jovic is going to get a start on camera because Girassi, his average rating over the last 5 games has been a 6.52, which is absolutely horrendous. Callum Wilson's a 7.12, but I think one of these was like for the under-18s or Carabao Cup game where he played ridiculously well. So Brentford are they're on kind of good form. 3 kind of non-defeats in a row. We are up and down, let's be honest. We're very, very up and down at the moment. I'm hoping this is the match where we can get back to winning ways. Lo Celso playing for Brentford, which is weird. Is he there in real life? I feel like he isn't. Aaron Hickey plays it across to Ethan Pinnock, a player who I've said this before in the past, that he's a player, I don't think he's very good in Football Manager, but he always seems to score against me. Douglas Luiz with the ball, goes for a little run, finds Mings. The first highlight of the match obviously is kind of maybe going to come into something. Rooney, back to Connor Goldson, to Rooney on that right-hand side. Can he get past his man? Plays it on the ground to Kamara. 2 in the middle, Luka Jovic's won his first touch of the ball, and Luka Jovic puts the ball in the bottom corner after 40 seconds. We are 1-0 up against Brentford, and maybe, just maybe, Luka Jovic should be the one starting up front. I did say when I signed him I want to revive his career. Is this the first step to doing so? It is Douglas Luiz with a free kick. Fair distance outside the area, but I think it's a scoreable range. Top right-hand corner as well. I want to see this one go. Dougie, where are you going to go? Their goalkeeper looks tiny as well. Is that just me, or does he look like a small goalkeeper? Top right-hand corner, David Raya makes the save. We are obviously going to get a corner from it, which we are going to see as well. Rooney's the man to go over to take it. Obviously, scored against Man United a couple of days ago, yesterday. I don't know when this video is coming out. Luka Jovic collects this, plays it on the ground to Goldson, back to Jovic, on the ground to Rooney's gone down. Is that going to be a penalty? No? VAR? Anybody? Rooney went down like he got shot. I don't know what's going to go on there. Nothing, apparently. Obviously, it's early days in this match, but if things stay this way, we're going to move up to 5th place in the table. Ramsey's not going to quite get there. Goldson should be. He's not going to, though. Ait-Nouri doesn't get there ahead of Ivan Toney. Kamara on the ground to Connor Goldson. I still love the fact that Connor Goldson... I ask the assistant to pick, by the way, and they often put Goldson in ahead of Harwood Bellis. So that's kind of why Goldson's getting some game time at the moment. Torres, what are you going to do, mate? Going to go for a very slow walk over the halfway line. Ait-Nouri playing in the middle now to Kamara. Jovic's tried to make a run. So has Rooney. He's got some space on that right-hand side. Tries to curl one into the top corner. Just wide over. Maybe a bit of both. It's Aaron Hickey. That was a weird goal kick from David Raya. Lo Celso. Left-hand side is Wissa. He's going to go for a little run. Connor Goldson easily dispossesses him, though. Luka Jovic gets a bit of space, goes for a long-range effort. Luka Jovic has got a brace. Are we seeing the making of a star? And by a star, I know he's like 26, but Luka Jovic, all he's done is just had 2 really good shots and put them in the bottom corner for both of them. We are 2-0 up against Brentford. We are looking good as well. And I'm just happy we've got a striker scoring goals. It doesn't happen often. Since that second Jovic goal, not a lot has really gone on. We're getting the occasional shot away, no real highlights to talk about. Rooney's not looking so hot on that right-hand side. So at half-time, we've done well. Good job, everybody. Do we want to say... Can we just talk to Rooney, actually, and just say, look, fella, both of you wingers, I need you to put in a little bit of a better performance. You can still improve. I have a feeling this might be Luka Jovic's first start for Villa in the league at the very least. If he gets a hat-trick, I'm going to be a very happy manager. And if this match just kind of dissipates into absolutely nothing, which is looking like what is potentially going to happen, we might have ourselves a third match in this episode. We're going to do a couple of changes. What do we do here? Who do we put on the right-hand side? I'm going to go with Callum Wilson, actually. He's going to... not the right, on the left-hand side. I'm going to play Callum Wilson on that left-hand side as an inside forward on attack, okay? I'm thinking it means that he can go next to Jovic when we've kind of going forward with the ball. That's kind of the hope. Might not be how it happens at all. We might not get any highlights either to see what's going on. Final 10 minutes of the match, and if it just kind of dissipates away into nothing, we are going to have a third match in this episode, which I think is going to be a Europa League game against Red Bull Salzburg or possibly Leipzig. One of the Red Bull teams. Wissa with the ball. Final 5 minutes. Brentford trying to get themselves back into this game. A goal will change the final 10 minutes of the match. Douglas Luiz to Ait Nouri, though. We're going to go down the line. Plays it back to Casteels, who is going to hopefully get himself a clean sheet after replacing Martinez after his piss-poor performance against Brighton. It is Rico Henry. He's going to go for a run. Nearly called him Henry. He's not French. Rico Henry to Armando Broja, playing for Brentford. Fair enough. So I think that's a decent signing. I don't know if it's on loan or a permanent deal. Broja crosses the ball in. Casteels flaps at it, doesn't quite get it, and is cleared. Callum Wilson's going to possibly collect that. No, he's not. Ivan Toney was offside, so it didn't matter that Casteels flapped at it and got nothing. Leon Bailey with a free kick for us. Is Jovic going to get himself a hat-trick? It's on over everybody. David Raya's got it in his hands, apparently. Don't know what happened there. It was completely off camera. Raya then, with it, goes for a weird dance, I guess, in his penalty area. Roslev, might be his name, being chased every single step of the way by Callum Wilson. Broja to Ivan Toney. Toney's effort goes just wide of Casteels' post. 4 minutes of injury time to play, 2-0 to the good, but Brentford are still in this game just about. If they get a goal now, it might be too little too late though. Roslev to Jensen, edge of the penalty area, crosses it to Ethan Pinnock. I told you he always scores against me. I absolutely told you. Ethan Pinnock will always score against me, no matter what. It's 2-1, we've got a minute and a half of injury time to play. I'm hoping nothing happens. Nothing has happened. The fact that Ethan Pinnock scored after I said at the start of this match that he always scores against me, it's annoyed me, partially because he's a centre-back. He shouldn't be scoring, particularly goals like that. So looking at the league table then, after the 2 league games we have played, we are in 5th place in the table, 1 point behind Arsenal, who are obviously in the Champions League spot. However, they do have a game in hand, but we are only 2 points behind Chelsea, who are in 3rd place, and they are on equal points, equal games to us. So we are doing actually very, very well. We are going to have a third match in this episode, which is going to be RB Salzburg away in Austria. So we'll be back for that in just a second. Off to Europe we go then, RB Salzburg away from home. This is the starting 11 we're going to go for. Casteels keeps his place in goal. Goldson, Ratnik, Torres and Mings in defence. We've done a fair amount of rotating because I think we should be good enough to beat Salzburg, okay? Remember that as we lose 3-0 later on. Douglas Luiz, Kamara and Sanka in midfield. Rooney, Bailey and Luka Jovic keeps his place in that starting 11 up front. Gerassi probably is starting to get a bit annoyed, but he's been so bad the last few matches. Even though on paper he shouldn't be, but he's not shooting, is he? He's just not having any shots, which I guess that's part of the problem. Maybe because he's a pressing forward. Do they not have shots? Don't know. Right now, we are top of the Europa League group, so we should be good enough to win most of these games. Pavlovic has scored. We're 1-0 down after 5 minutes. Literally, I'm saying the words are coming out of my mouth, saying that we should be good enough to win, and we concede. Straight after the goal, though, it looks like we've got another highlight. Ratnik with the ball, making a rare start. He's only ever started for us in the Europa League. He's never played a Premier League game for us. Capaldo intercepts that poor pass. Koita has got past Ratnik. Casteels, though, gets a leg out, stops that one from going in. We are going to see the corner. It is Van der Brempt to take the corner for Salzburg. Towards the back post, Casteels comes out, claims that one. Good. So, we are not just bad at corners, just that first one. That's good to see. Looking at the match stats, only 20 minutes in, but we have had nearly 70% possession, but not a single shot. They are just stopping us from, I assume, getting into their half. We're doing nothing. It's another corner for Salzburg, 27 minutes. Corner once again towards the back post. It's gone over everybody. Koita is going to chase this one down and keep this alive for Salzburg. Christoph Klara, the former Saints youngster, which is a weird thing that he's now playing for Red Bull Salzburg. Ming sticks a leg out, stops it, but doesn't stop it enough, and Casteels can't stop Sekou Koita. It is 2-0, or maybe not, possibly a bit of offside going on. I think this is going to count, you know. I think it's going to count. It has counted. It is 2-0 to Salzburg. I think we are going to have a shout at some of our players at halftime because everyone is playing badly apart from Casteels. Absolutely everybody. I've never seen a team play this poorly. Leon Bailey's on a 6.6 and he's our best outfield player. That's how bad we're playing. Capaldo's gone for a run down towards the right-hand side. Plays it all the way back to Klara. Tijani to Capaldo once again. Sucic on the right. Gets past his man. Van der Brempt. Sucic is carrying on his run. Plays it on the ground. Does find Sucic. Cross comes in. It's gone through absolutely everybody. And Nene makes it 3-0. Right, I don't do shouts often, but we are going to berate the entire team because that is horrific. 6.5 now is our best outfield rating. Right, water bottle time, you've been terrible. I mean, I've just said to the team a couple of matches ago that I'm going to calm down my team talks and things like that, and I've just shouted at them saying you've all been terrible. Get back out there, do some football, have a shot maybe would be nice. Well, the second half, nothing is going on at all. We've done, obviously, no subs at half-time or anything like that. I think we're going to do 5 substitutions. I mean, Douglas Luiz is playing poorly. Scott McTominay's coming on. Sanket's coming off for John McGinn. We're going to do Rooney off for... Who's Charlie Lutz? Who are you? Why are you on the subs bench? Sure, get yourself an appearance. Rooney for Lutz. Bailey for Ramsey. Jovic for Jurassi. That's all of our changes. We're not changing the defenders because basically they can't do any worse than what they're currently doing, so let's just keep those guys on. Tyrone Mings has just dropped down to a 6.2. Magical. Since the changes, we've had a shot. It's not been good. It's been a 0.06 XG shot, but we have had a shot. I still think, this is going to sound ridiculous after this performance, that we are going to qualify for the knockout round of the Europa League, purely because we've won 4 out of 5 so far in the group. That performance was awful. I think we should be good enough to beat Salzburg, okay? Remember that as we lose 3-0 later on. That was absolutely awful. The Brighton performance was better than this. You come into training because you deserve more training. So this episode has been very up and down, hasn't it? The Brentford game was a good performance. Yes, we did concede late on, but we played very, very well. Brighton, awful performance. Salzburg, even worse than Brighton, wasn't it? I can't believe how bad we were. Looking at the match ratings for some of those players was just terrible. Douglas Luiz a 6.2. Anyway, that is going to do it for this episode. Next episode, we are going to jump all the way through to possibly January, maybe even February, to be honest. We're going to go and have a January transfer window. We've got money to spend. We've got 71 million to spend. In fact, we're going to have a little bit more money than that because we bought Timothy Fosu-Mensah on a free transfer. We've sold him for £7 million. It's going to happen, I think, in December. He's off to Saudi Arabia. So that is going to be maybe £75 million to spend in January. Judging from those 2 performances we've had, I think we might need to do it. We've just made it to the 1st of December and our transfer budget's disappeared, apparently. So yeah, it's now £500,000. Maybe January's not going to be that exciting.